truck was actually coming from Ring Road. It missed a step. So as it was trying to gather itself, it fell.
What we are witnessing these days, it is something we can no longer understand.
They should stop telling us and promising us all those promises are fake, giving us details of promises are fake. We don't want it anymore.
Now to the news headlines. Edo government cracks down on contractors over substandard projects.
What I would want all contractors to know is that my principal, Senator Monday Pebolo, is very big on quality control.
City Boy Movement hosts Lenten outreach, shares palliative with Christians in Edo State.
This is the breaking of fast among the Christian community.
They give us, we appreciate it.
Fuel prices surges hit hard as commuters groan under rising transport fare.
Lots of transport. Transport is too much. We beg for government to do something about it.
A very good evening to you and thank you for joining us on Beetv Major News at 6. My name is Temitokwe Oluwafemi. And now to the news in details. The Edo State government has issued a stern warning to contractors handling infrastructure projects across the state, directing them to strictly comply with approved quality control standards or face mandatory reconstruction at their own expense. The directive was delivered by the Special Advisor on Project Implementation and Monitoring, Engineer Williams Bello Phoebe, during an on-site inspection of two major road projects in Edo South Senatorial District. The report. Speaking to journalists on the sidelines of the inspection, Phoebe made clear that Governor Monday Okpewolo's administration operates a zero-tolerance policy on substandard work and that only projects meeting approved specifications would receive government acceptance. She disclosed that the state government has launched a comprehensive monitoring exercise spanning all three senatorial districts, Edo North, Edo Central, and Edo South, to enforce uniformity and contractual compliance across all ongoing and completed projects. The special advisor emphasized that beyond enforcing construction standards, the exercise is designed to ensure the judicious use of public funds and guarantee long-term value for Edo residents. Phoebe also put contractors on notice that any substandard delivery would trigger mandatory reconstruction funded entirely by the defaulting contractor, not the state.
Embarked on our first quarterly inspection. We started today. We've done orders with public building and also Esobade, but for today we started with Ministry of Works, and this week will be for Edo South. After that, we'll be going to Edo Central, then Edo North to cover up all projects. What I would want all contractors to know is that my principal, Senator Monday Pebolo, is very big on quality control. So right now, last year we did 3 quarters also. We went on quarterly inspection, but most of our projects as at then have not attained up to pavement level. But right now we have started coring on projects that have gotten to pavement level, your binder and your wearing. So we want all contractors to know that there is no tolerance and no policy for substandard work.
Addressing contractors yet to reach the pavement stage, she urged voluntary compliance before government inspectors arrive. I want to use this medium to inform contractors whose projects have not reached the pavement stage to do the right thing. We do not want it to appear as though we are witch hunting anyone when we ask you to redo the work, she said. The special advisor reaffirmed the administration's commitment to accountability and professionalism in project execution, stressing that all infrastructure delivered under Governor Monday Okpewolo must be durable, meet contractual benchmarks, and stand the test of time.
And if we check your specification, and right now all our projects are stone-based and is not up to the 150 mm or 200 as specified in your contract, we ask you to clarify, and you will go back and redo that work at your own expense. And that is the position of His Excellency concerning all projects around the state. So I want to use this as a medium to let all contractors know that those contracts we have not got to payment, please do the right thing. We don't want to seem like we are witch until contractors when we ask you to scarify and go back and do the work. So right now is for you to know that as we are coming for the quarterly inspection, we will be covering. So when you are doing your work, check your foreman, check that your equipment are properly positioned so that you won't be given excuse that maybe when your equipment had a failure or something and that part is skipped. We'll cut it and you have to go back and redo the work.
The monitoring exercise is part of broader efforts by the Okpawolo-led administration to align infrastructure delivery with its development agenda and improve the quality of life for citizens across Edo State. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for BTV News.
Beneficiaries of the Lenten season fast breaking and palliative distribution organized by the City Boy Movement Edo State chapter expressed deep appreciation for the gesture during the fasting period. This was part of efforts to encourage Christians who are fasting. The report.
The event, held as part of activities marking the Lenten period, brought together Christian members from across the state who gathered in an atmosphere of unity and compassion. The event was designed to assist Christians observing the fast. The gathering reflects the group's commitment to humanitarian service and community development. Speaking with BTV News, some of the beneficiaries thanked the federal government and the City Boy Movement for the distribution of palliatives and for putting the program together to support Christians. They noted that they would continue to support the City Boy Movement and also pray for its success.
For what they give us, we appreciate it. God will continue to bless their pockets and provide for them in Jesus' name.
This is the breaking of fast among the Christian community. Similar things happened last week for the Muslim community. Today is the turn of the Christian community to benefit from this palliative. So it is a glorious way of appreciating the support, the prayers and the goodwill demonstrated by Christians for peace and tranquility to reign in Nigeria, and for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to have the wisdom to pilot the affairs of the country to greater heights.
However, others who also benefited from the food items distributed thanked the state coordinator Dr. Padi Yamu and the City Boy Movement for putting the event together and for putting a smile on their face. They also expressed appreciation to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the distribution of food items to citizens of Edo State.
It's great, and I want to appreciate the organizer, person of Dr. Padi Yamu, organizing the City Boy Movement today. I want to say thank you to him. He has also put smile on people's eyes, and I want to also thank our president, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for also giving Edo State this kind of, it's great.
I hope they will continue with it. I hope it's something that is sustainable. We have to support the government of the day and pray for their success.
The event concluded with the distribution of palliatives and cooked food to Christians who were present. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for BTV News.
Daily commuters in Benin City are facing increasing hardship as continuous hikes in transport fares are taking a toll on their finances and overall well-being. BTV News' Precious Agbonlaho reports that many residents who rely on public transportation to get to work, school, and other daily activities say the rising cost of fares is becoming unbearable. The report.
The increase in the cost of fuel has continued to drive a steady increase in transportation fare, placing a heavy burden on commuters who rely on daily travel for their livelihood. What was once a manageable expense has now become a major financial challenge for many residents, especially low-income earners who depend on public transport to get to work, school, and other essential activities. Findings reveal that transport operators have no choice but to adjust their fares in response to the high cost of petrol and diesel, a situation that they say is necessary to remain in business. This has resulted in frequent and sometimes unpredictable fare hikes, leaving commuters struggling to plan their daily expense. Some commuters who spoke on the situation noted that what used to cost a moderate amount now takes up a significant portion of daily incomes, leaving little for feeding and other basic needs. Many expressed frustration, stating that the constant increase in fares has forced them to cut down on their essential expenses or seek alternative means for transportation, such as trekking shorter distance.
From Solo Market to Lupi. When I enter aboard this morning, as driver, I'm going to 2 gates, move there. Ask her for how much. Driver said that 700 is too much. So the transport fare is too much and it's too expensive. It affects everything. See, I'm trekking now. And now I come down for you. I want to collect this my check. I'm trekking. I went to lots of transport. Transport is too much. So we beg for government to do something about it because it's too much. From here to Solo Market to Onyoke is 300 naira. From here to Luku, some people can carry 300, 250, something like that. But now I was surprised. 700. It's too much. It's too expensive.
It's a normal thing that it will affect everybody because when you are paying more for less, everybody knows what it means. Meaning you have fallen short from your initial budget, and the truth is that it's biting. But some of us are now trekking some miles just to meet up. Why some? If the place is not important like that, it's not that important, just sit at home. The increase is where there is a percentage increase in transport, which is about some 100 naira, some 200, depending on where you are going to. So anywhere you go to before, maybe you spend like 200 or 300. You should be expected to spend 400 or 300 minimum. So it's always affecting.
As the cost of transportation continues to rise, many commuters are left struggling to cope, calling for urgent solutions to ease the burden and restore affordability. Precious Agbolaho reporting for Beetv News.
Many Nigerians are increasingly taking on multiple jobs in a bid to maintain a decent standard of living as the rising cost of goods and services continue to outpace income levels. Beetv News' Kate Owaridowo reports that Nigerian citizens struggle to make ends meet. The report.
Despite several sources of income, a large number of citizens still struggle to meet basic needs due to persistent inflation and economic pressure, prompting residents to speak up. Speaking with newsmen, some residents explain that survival largely depends on individual earnings, spending habits, and personal lifestyle choices. However, they emphasize that the current economic reality makes it difficult for many to stay financially stable as prices of essential commodities continue to rise while wages remain relatively low. They further explained that even with multiple streams of income, the situation often remains challenging as expenses outweigh earnings. According to them, the state of the economy has made it nearly impossible for the average citizens to live comfortably. They link this to the government, alleging that the political leaders often prioritize electoral gains over the welfare of citizens. They claim that more attention is given to securing future votes rather than implementing policy that will improve living conditions during their time in office.
The area of multiple jobs and the team is not affecting them positively. It depends on what comes out from the multiple job you are doing, one. And two, depends on your expenses. That is your responsibility. So you cannot equate somebody that has a child and the other person that has more than from 2, 3, and 4. So understand. And that time your taste determines your listing, what you get or your spending. Either you go to the circle or to take the book by the law. Once election is conducted, from the day they declare winner, the person start talking about the next 4 years. The person does not even talk about what he will do for the period of the 4 years that is sacrosanct. We're talking about coming. So that one, that kind of thing, is to an extent, is not supposed to be.
Still speaking, respondents also related the issue to religion, explaining that many religious leaders are not fulfilling their roles as members continue to suffer without support. Respondents noted that while religious institutions often preach about helping the needy, in practice, little or no assistance is provided. They further explained that religious leaders could play a more active role by providing practical help, such as financial aid, guidance, or programs to support their members during these difficult times.
The economy is so bad that you cannot even succeed. Not even survive, you cannot succeed. Religion is one of our major problems. All those big pastors, you understand, they are doing nothing about it. You know why? Because they have money. They don't care. Majority of your members, they are poor. You understand? The government get their role to play. The religious leader, both the imam in the Muslim sect, in the Muslim aspect, they have their roles to play. They are doing nothing because they are making money. You understand? The politicians, they are sorting them out. If you have a church, like I come to your church to pay 1 billion naira. 1 billion naira, you will creep protest. You don't agree now. I already 1 billion pass come because you are chopping money. Your members are suffering.
They, however, advised Nigeria to be mindful of their spending by cutting down unnecessary expenses, while also encouraging citizens to make right choices during election by voting for credible leaders who will prioritize the needs of the masses. Kate Owarido reporting for BTV News.
The member representing Oredo East constituency at the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Uyi Frank Omosigo, on Thursday met with the Oredo local government APC leaders to seek support for a re-election. BTV News Evelyn Zibili reports that the meeting held at the APC local government secretariat attracted a large turnout of party leaders, executive members, ward representatives, supporters, and well-wishers from across the wards of Oredo. The report.
Atmosphere featured notable personalities within the party, including the Oredo APC chairman, Honorable Osamu Diame Osayenkoi, alongside members of his executive. Supporters from various wards across Oredo thronged the venue in large numbers, creating a vibrant atmosphere as they expressed strong enthusiasm and support for Honorable Uyi Frank Omosigo. Declaring his intention, Honorable Uyi Frank Omosigo appealed to APC local government leaders to give him their support for him to be re-elected into the Edo State House of Assembly as member representing Oredo East constituency. He listed some of his achievements over the past 2 years, highlighting his contributions to the people of Oredo. He also reaffirmed his commitment and dedication to the APC family.
I'm here to appeal and plead with the leaders for me to go for a second term. Having been in the House for 2 years plus, I will outline the list and few achievements.
Speaking at the meeting, Oredo APC chairman Honorable Osamu Diame Osayenkoi acknowledged that the party would consider his request to be re-elected as member at Edo State House of Assembly representing Oredo East constituency.
Oredo East, above what we had. So, as a local government of this constituency, the party or the ticket and the party okay, so for that reason,
other party leaders and supporters also appealed to APC local government leaders to consider Honorable Uyi Frank Omosigo for re-election. They said he is someone with proven track record who has represented the people effectively. They expressed the belief that if given a second opportunity, the people of Oredo East constituency will stand to gain more. Speaking with journalists shortly after the meeting, Honorable Uyi Frank Omosigo reiterated his commitment to the people of Oredo East constituency. He highlighted his track record and assured that if re-elected, he will continue to serve and attend to the needs of the people of Oredo East.
But first, what I promised him when I came to office is that my first day in office, I had a town hall meeting and asked different wards what are their needs. It is those needs that were put in different constituencies. So, but I know I'm on ground in my constituency, so I know the needs of my constituency. So I try to also do the needs of the people.
Also speaking, member representing Oredo Ward 1, Mr. Agbonlao Walter, described Honorable Uyi Frank Omosigo as a tested and trusted leader with proven capacity, expressing confidence in his readiness for a second tenure. Other supporters noted that Honorable Uyi Frank Omosigo deserves to be retained due to his dedication, performance, and commitment to the people of Oredo East constituency.
Honorable Uyi Omosigo has been tested and trusted. To me, is a leader with so much capacity.
What I have to say about Honorable Uyi Omosigo is that he's the best bet for this election that is coming. I just pray that APC Oredo East should not make the mistake of giving another person.
The meeting concluded on a celebratory note, with supporters expressing optimism and giving strong assurances of backing Honorable Uyi Frank Omosigo's bid for a second term as member at Edo State House of Assembly, Oredo East constituency. Evelyn Izibli reporting for BTV News.
Nigeria's top military leadership has relocated to Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, in a decisive move ordered by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to confront the security situation head-on. The report.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Olatubosun Oluyede, alongside other service chiefs, has arrived in Maiduguri, signaling a renewed and intensified phase in the fight against insurgency in Nigeria's northeast. Their presence on the ground reflects a strategic directive to take direct control of operations, enhance coordination among security agencies, and closely monitor developments in the region. The service chiefs immediately held a closed-door meeting with top military commanders to review ongoing operations and map out fresh strategies to dismantle insurgent networks. Emerging from the high-level talks, the military leadership reaffirmed its commitment to decisively defeat insurgents and restore lasting peace across affected communities.
We're doing our very best to checkmate this, and we'll continue to do that. But why I'm here today is to ensure that in future, this will not repeat itself. So we're looking at modalities, we're looking at lessons learned, so that in future, this will not repeat itself. But I must say something here that's very important. This challenge is something that we've been going all around for the past 15 years or thereabout. And I want to put it out here clearly this afternoon, that for us to end this act of terrorism, the people of Borno State and Yobe State must take ownership of this problem.
The relocation is widely seen as a strong show of force and a clear message of intent, placing military leadership at the heart of operations as efforts intensify to secure the region.
So for us to bring this to an end, all hands must be on deck. Our people must resolve that this has to come to an end. And we must take ownership of this problem. That is my message to the people of Borno and Yobe State today. As we speak, the major thing we're using is drone jammers, and we're trying to get more.
With drone jammers deployed and more on the way, military operations have been scaled up, raising expectations that this renewed push will deliver measurable gains in the fight against insurgency. Naomi Ewewe reporting from BTV News.
Nigeria's Vice President, VP Kashim Shettima, has arrived in Maiduguri following the explosions that shook the city, bringing a message of empathy and federal resolve. The report.
Hospitals in Maiduguri now tell a quiet story of survival, where pain meets hope and healing slowly finds its voice. Victims of the blast continue to receive treatment as the Vice President arrived alongside government officials, delivering a message of solidarity and reassurance. Moving from bed to bed, he engaged with patients, listening, comforting, and offering wise men to steady shaking spirits. Visibly saddened, he described the attack as tragic emphasizing that the federal government will stand firmly with victims and their families throughout the recovery process.
The government, through the National Emergency Management Agency, I'm here to render succor and support. The Northeast Development Commission is also on board, and of course, the chairman of SEMA, the energetic deputy governor, is also here with us. We'll render support and succor to the bereaved families and to the sick and wounded.
Yet, amid the sorrow, assurances were given of renewed commitment by the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to strengthen security and prevent a reoccurrence.
I want to assure the people that we will not rest on our oars until full peace and sanity is restored in Borno, the Northeast, and the nation as a whole.
Maiduguri, though wounded, is not broken. Its spirit remains firm even on the face of tragedy, as the city leans on both empathy and decisive action. Authorities say efforts are underway to ensure that such darkness does not return. Naomi Ewere reporting from Beetv News.
You're still watching Beetv Major News at 6. We'll be going on a short break. Do stay with us.
My people, make una come listen o. Dis na better new thing na im dey happen for PDP so. Una party, the party wey everybody like. The People's Democratic Party wan put old and new members for their register to know the correct members when dem get. Unlike before, dis one na wetin dem dey call e-registration. E dey very simple, no wuruwuru. See me, see you. Make una come join una party PDP wey don stand gidigba. No shaking at all. PDP don bounce back gbam. Na for all wards for Nigeria. Na this e-registration dey happen o. Make you visit our platform wey be pdpnigeria.org. Opportunity don come o. Make una join our big party, the PDP. PDP, power to the people. Na our oga kpatakpata Abdulrahman Mohammed, chairman PDP National Caretaker Working Committee, na him put hand for this message o. Special invitation. The Ebodage family of Uromi, Esa Northeast local government area of Edo State, announces with gratitude to God and total submission to his will the traditional burial ceremony of their beloved patron, late Mr. Sunday Ebodage. Until his death, he was a devoted husband, father, grandfather, brother, uncle, and respected elder whose life was marked by honor, wisdom, and service to his community. In accordance with the custom and traditions of the Uromi people, the family warmly invites relatives, friends, well-wishers, and the entire community to join them and indulge in traditional rites and celebrate the life of their patron, late Mr. Sunday Ewudagi. Date 4th April 2026. Venue Amedoshan Primary School, Uromi, Esa Northeast local government area. Time 1 p.m. prompt. Daddy, we love you now and always. Continue to rest until we meet again and part no more. Signed, Honorable Kingsley Ewudagi for the family.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Moving on, the Delta State Police Command has recorded a major breakthrough in the fight against kidnapping with the rescue of 3 abducted victims, the arrest of a suspected kidnapper, and the recovery of an AK-47 rifle following a fierce gun battle in Isiluku. The Divisional Police Officer DPO of Isiluku Division, CSP Aderemi Badiru, in collaboration with the military, local vigilante groups and hunters, launched a coordinated search and rescue operation that led to an intense exchange of gunfire between security operatives and the kidnappers. During the encounter, one of the suspects was fatally wounded. The federal government is seeking stronger collaboration with the private sector to transform Nigeria's correctional centers into hubs for modern agriculture and skills development. The initiative aims to boost food production while promoting rehabilitation and reducing recidivism among inmates. Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, joined the call in Abuja during a stakeholders dialogue on optimizing correctional farm centers through public-private partnerships, represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Madeleine Ajani. The minister said correctional facilities must evolve beyond incarceration into centers of productivity, rehabilitation, and economic reintegration. He emphasized that the government alone cannot unlock the full potential of the system, noting that partnerships with private investors, development partners, and civil society organizations are critical to driving innovation and scaling reforms. Operations at Nigeria's seaports are facing disruptions as agents and freight forwarders withdraw their services, accusing shipping companies of sidelining them in key decisions within the port logistics chain. The protest follows a standoff over increased shipping charges, which the agents say are imposed without adequate stakeholder engagements. The report.
Protesting agents took to the Lagos Port Corridor, confronting shipping firms and displaying placards demanding an immediate reversal of the charges. They argued that their role in the logistics chain is being undermined despite being critical intermediaries between shipping companies and cargo owners. The group warned that the cost hike will escalate import expenses and worsen the burden on end users. The agents also alleged that shipping companies reneged on a period agreement reached in January to suspend the charges. The standoff has raised concerns over potential delays in port operations and cargo movements.
Since the first meeting we had the meeting by I think on January. He said that we'll call for a meeting. Up till now, he has not called for any stakeholder and shipping company meeting. And you can hear what the man just said. He said it was verbal. There was no letter to that effect. To suspend the increment. The man said it was verbal. And they told us they've given them a letter. They said they've given them a letter to stop the increment.
Port traders have also raised concerns, saying the Nigerian Shippers Council is not doing enough to protect shippers from arbitrary cost increases.
People are not ready to do anything. So today we decided that we need to go around to withdraw our services. And we started with MSC. When we got to MSC, we got to know that they are claiming, the MD said, because the federal government increased 4%, based on that, they are increasing their own too. We went to Lansar, a different story also. We came in here to PIL again. We are hearing a different story that the ES took them to House of Assembly, National House of Assembly. National House of Assembly gave them approval to go ahead and increase their charges. And we are here still waiting for the stakeholders meeting.
The agents insist that their withdrawal of services will continue until the charges are reversed and a proper stakeholder engagement framework is established. Naomi Elwere reporting from Beetv News.
The Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Baru Jibril, has received members of the Steering Committee of the Nigerian Police Force tasked with developing a framework for the establishment of state police. The Inspector General of Police inaugurated the 8-member committee on March 4th to spearhead the initiative. Senator Baru, who also chairs the Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution, received the committee in Abuja. The committee, led by Professor Olu Ogunshaki, briefed the senator on its mandate, seeking the Senate's advice and contributions to enrich its work. Senator Baru commended the Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, for aligning the initiative with the President's renewed hope agenda to ensure national security. He tasked the team to develop measures that promote accountability, safeguard against abuse, and carry out public enlightenment on the state police framework. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has welcomed the conviction and sentencing of 10 Filipino sailors and their merchant vessel operator by the Federal High Court in Lagos. The sailors were found guilty of conspiracy and the unlawful importation of 20 kilograms of cocaine into Nigeria. Delivering the judgment, Justice Ayokunle Faji ordered the convicts to pay $6 million in restitution to the federal government, in addition to fines totaling 1.1 million naira. In a statement, NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi quoted the agency's chairman, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Mawa, retired, as saying the ruling sent a strong warning to international drug cartels that Nigeria's waters are no longer safe for illicit trade. Mr. Buba Mawa also commended the officers of the Apapa Strategic Command for uncovering the concealed drugs and vowed continued collaboration with the courts to dismantle drug networks across the country. And now moving on to the world of business. A report by Bug IT Tracker has uncovered unexecuted, abandoned and fraudulently delivered public projects across Nigeria valued at about 24 billion naira, according to its 2024-2025 service delivery review released in February 2026. The report.
The report found that Benue State, Ondo State, Kwara State, Akwa Ibom State, and Sokoto State recorded the highest levels of unexecuted projects, while Ebonyi State, Katsina State, Bauchi State, Niger State, and Enugu State recorded the lowest. It also identified Taraba State, Abia State, Nasarawa State, Adamawa State, and Ogun State as the most affected by abandoned projects, which accounts for the bulk of cases tracked, while raising concerns over widespread irregularities in project delivery. Rising tensions in the Middle East linked to the Iran war are putting Africa's fuel supply under pressure, with many countries left with only weeks of refined petroleum products. Disruptions along the Strait of Hormuz, a key global energy corridor, have slowed tanker traffic and strained critical import routes. The International Energy Agency estimates that about 600,000 barrels per day of fuel supplies normally destined for Africa are now at risk. Governments across the continent are scrabbling for alternative sources amid concerns that wealthier countries could outbid African buyers in an increasingly tight global market. Data from Kepler shows petroleum shipments dropping sharply from 580,000 metric tons in January to 183,000 in February, before falling to zero in March. Analysts said the disruption highlights Africa's heavy reliance on imported refined fuel, driven by years of underinvestment and refinery shutdowns. Nigeria recorded $3.74 billion in crude oil imports in 2025, linked to operations of the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, marking a shift in its oil trade structure despite being a major crude producer. The figure was disclosed in the balance of payments report by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The report showed Nigeria's current account surplus stood at $14.4 billion in 2025, down from $19.3 billion in 2024, but higher than $6.42 billion in 2022. The decline was partly attributed to changes in oil trade flows, including crude imports for domestic refining, while crude exports fell to $31.54 billion from $36.85 billion in the previous year. However, improved refining activity boosted the goods account surplus to $14.51 billion, supported by $5.85 billion in refined petroleum exports from the Dangote refinery and increased gas exports. The report added that local refining also reduced Nigeria's dependence on imported fuel. Naomi Ewere reporting from Beetv News.
And now to entertainment. Viral fish pie seller Alex Evalsam has stirred fresh reactions after alleging that his widely publicized ambassadorial deal with Eco Hotels and Suites was staged. Evelyn Izibili has more.
Speaking during the Clarity Zone podcast interview, he claimed the viral moment that suggested he secured a massive endorsement was orchestrated. According to him, he was taken to the hotel by influencer King Mitri and asked to act as though he was signing a contract in front of management. The move reportedly led many to believe he was lauded a lucrative deal, with earlier reports suggesting a 2-year ambassadorial contract worth between 5 million naira and 20 million naira, alongside perks like accommodation, a car, and performance opportunities. However, Alex now insists the signing was merely for show, casting doubts on the authenticity of the deal that had been celebrated as his major breakthrough. In another development, Afrobeat star Spyro has opened up about his long and challenging journey to success, revealing that his breakthrough in the music industry didn't come easy. Taking to his Instagram, the singer shared that he spent 16 years grinding, facing numerous setbacks and disappointment before finally gaining recognition about 3 years ago. Spyro disclosed that at one point, he reached one of his lowest moments of his life, struggling with the weight of failure and uncertainty about his future. He, however, credited his turnaround to his faith, stating that God changed his story when he least expected it, transforming years of pain into success. Fans and followers have since reacted to his story, praising his resilience and drawing inspiration from his journey. In conclusion, the talented singer who rose to the limelight with his hit song, Who's Your Guy, reminded us that success really comes overnight and that persistence, faith, and belief in oneself are often the keys to eventual triumph. Actor Ryan Gosling is blending humor with science fiction in Project Hail Mary, a new space adventure film he both stars and produces. Based on Andy Weir's 2021 novel, the film follows a science teacher who wakes up alone on a spaceship with no memory and must find a way to save Earth from a mysterious cosmic threat. Gosling said the film combines complex scientific ideas with humor to make the story more accessible, arguing that funny moments can naturally occur even in serious situations. He added that taking on a producer role allowed him to create a balance between comedy and drama, something he felt was often limited in previous projects. Having previously starred in First Man, Gosling said he worked with scientific experts including physicist Brian Cox to ensure accuracy. He described the film as a hopeful, family-friendly story that focuses on problem-solving and collaboration, offering a more optimistic take on the future than recent dystopian films. Evelyn Izibile reporting for BTV News.
And now to the world of sports. Nigeria's The Tigers have expressed confidence of a stronger performance at the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup after a mixed outing in the recent qualifiers. The African champions recorded 2 wins and 3 losses, defeating Colombia and the Philippines, but losing to South Korea, France, and Germany. Despite the results, Nigeria had already secured qualification by winning the Women's Afro-Basket 2025, with the qualifiers serving as preparation. Head coach Rina Wakama said the demanding schedule would benefit the team, describing the tournament as valuable.